In March of 2009, I was working on a documentary about North Korean defectors, people who are fleeing the very desperate conditions in North Korea. And during that time, we were filming along the Tumen River. This is the river that separates China and North Korea. And it was frozen at the time. And so we were literally standing on that frozen river when 2 North Korean soldiers spotted us. They chased us into China, and then very violently dragged my colleague, Yoona Lee, and me across that river into North Korea. In the middle of the night, while my husband and I were sleeping, my sister's husband called, and he said Laura was abducted by North Korean soldiers. And my heart just sank. I was pretty bruised up and bloodied. And I just tried to keep my wits about me, but I was so scared. We were eventually transferred to Pyongyang. Yoona and I were separated for the remainder of our captivity. And that's when the real formal interrogation began. And I was grilled every day for hours on end, day after day. One of the most difficult parts was trying to convince them that I was not a spy. It didn't help that the co-founder and chairman of the company that I worked for at the time, Current TV, was former Vice President Al Gore. So that immediately made them suspicious that I had ties to the government. One day my interrogator came in and he was carrying a file. And it was all about my sister and the project she had worked on. He was very upset, very suspicious, and he immediately accused both Lisa and me of trying to bring down the North Korean government. Yoona and I became the first Americans to be tried in North Korea's highest court. On the day of our sentencing, the judge and his 2 associates left the room to deliberate. They left for 5 minutes and they returned with their judgment. And that was 12 years of hard labor. Back in 2006, we interviewed a North Korean defector who had spent time in one of the notorious North Korean prisons, and he described it as just an absolutely heinous and insidious place to be. And so the thought of my sister going there was just unimaginable. And I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified. The judge shouted, "No forgiveness, no appeal," and I just clutched on to the podium. I was standing at a podium and I just clutched onto it to keep from falling over.